So this will be part two, I guess. I had someone at the door there, and I had to get that, and I didn't want to refilm all of that. Try to remember what I said, and that video was getting to be too long anyway. So this will be the second part of this, if anybody's still interested. So yeah, we were To Love Somebody, really great song, great bass, great. She's got a great backing band, and she plays guitar and sings and does a really good job of it. I saw her in concert. I'll talk about that maybe a little bit here, but she had just bought. I know this because she said it on her Facebook, but she had just bought a few week or so before she played Fort Worth. She had just bought a brand new blue Rickenbacker guitar, like the one that George Harrison has in A Hard Day's Night, which, you know, just kind of adds to the coolness of everything in my book. But Hurt So Bad, one of the other standout tracks on an album of standout tracks. This is not the Little Anthony and the Imperials, the old song, which is a great song in its own right. This is an original. All of these are originals except for one cut. It is a very pent up, slow burn build up of a song. It reminds me of doesn't sound like it, but in spirit it reminds me of Try a Little Tenderness by Otis Redding. There's just a sort of tense, anxious, aching, sad and beautiful thread running throughout, which eventually there's sort of a build up, and then an inevitable release. And at that point, which is you can equate to something sexual, or you can equate to just frustration with life, a little bit of both. And at that point, the song does the only thing it really can do. It ends. Great lyrics. It's got when I did that 3-second little clips, snippets of songs you like. There's one in here. There's the backing vocal of, she sings Hurt So Bad, and the backing vocals, which are actually her, does Hurt So Bad in the background, kind of echoes her line. Just one of those great moments of music. And they have that, and then it comes back at the end of the song and returns and does that. And at that point, it's more desperate, more pent up, and then finally just release and exhaustion. A great song. Side B starts with a song called Head, which is about what you're probably thinking it's about. But again, I mean, it's not some cheap, gimmicky Britney Spears spelling a dirty word or something just for shock value, or Miley Cyrus doing the twerky banana dance with Ted. I mean, it's not silly. She actually said she wanted to write a song about that was serious and not goofy or funny or gimmicky, and she kind of did. It's I'll let you listen to the song and figure it out, but I mean, it's dirty, but it's not dirty. It's just sort of human emotion, craving that human touch, literally, but also emotionally. And so, yeah, Verlaine Shot Rimbaud might be my favorite song on the album, might be my favorite song of the year. So far it is, or it might be Hurt So Bad, but it's another great lyrics, you know, and there's sort of a depressive haze of depression. It's not a downer of an album, but if that makes sense, you know, I don't ever try that hard to stay awake. I wouldn't mind living with you in some old nasty dive. Great lyrics. Well, anyway, so yeah, Somewhere Else. This is where I'll talk about some of the influence. There's a lot of people on here that like Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks. First thing I heard this, I thought good Lord, is that an old Fleetwood Mac song that she's doing? Because it sounds like it without her just aping and ripping off Fleetwood Mac or copying Fleetwood Mac. It actually sounds a lot like them, but it's not just a direct lift, if what I'm saying makes sense again. But I thought, that must be some old track off of Rumors or something. What it sounds like. Um, it's a really great song, and what I love about it, anyone of a certain age, and I was in graduated high school in 1982. Toward the end of the song, she's singing about a guy, and she sings the line, "I just wanted to 8675309 you, honey," which anyone who came of age in the 80s knows what that means, and that was one of my favorite songs of the 80s. So that she stuck that line in there, and I mean, she was born, I think, like 90, 91, but she seems to have a good love of the 80s and the 60s, 70s, and 80s. She's an old soul. She's, like I said, she's 23, but her lyrics, her singing, her music, you'd think she was, you know, 60 or something. But yeah, so you get that little 80s shout out, followed by um, every a song called "Everything's Gone." Now I like Bruce Springsteen, um, you know, up to Born in the USA, but my favorite stuff is like Born to Run, and The River, and and I just went blank. The '78 album is my favorite album of his. Um, but this is Everything's Gone is one of those you can't go home albums because home's not there anymore, and how it kind of sucks that everything changes and everything goes away. All the good stuff seems to go away. Uh, in this 4-minute song, she basically distills everything Bruce Springsteen's entire career and outdoes him by uh, light years, and just incredibly poignant and sad, beautiful, heartbreaking song. Um, and again, I mean, I love Bruce Springsteen. I'm not, but and it is that's what I'm saying. Lydia Loveless does not compute. This is crazy. This is like somebody's singing straight out of the Old Testament or the Dust Bowl or the Mississippi Delta. This is Jim Morrison, Robert Johnson, and Moses, and uh, Augustus Caesar reincarnated as a 23-year-old white girl from Ohio that looks like she just walked out of the shopping mall. It I don't know, but there it is. So, and things end with um, the cover. They Don't Know, another one of my absolute favorite '80s songs. Christy McCall did that song originally. She's passed away, unfortunately. In America, we know it as Tracy Ullman, who had the hit with it. Um, she does it. I think they did this in a couple of takes, so it doesn't match Tracy Ullman or Christy McCall's version, but it's damn good. The more I listen, the more it grows on me. It's a pretty close, pretty faithful to the originals, but she does carve out her own voice in it. Uh, so that ends the album on a happy, upbeat note. Buy this, go out and get this thing. Best album of the year. I were to do a list of my favorite albums of the last 30 years, it wouldn't be a very long list. This would be number one. But like I said, go and listen to her songs on YouTube. Go listen to Verlaine Shot Rimbaud. Go listen to Really Want to See You. Find Hurt So Bad. Go find Lover Spat. Listen to The Water. Where'd that other album go? Here it is. Um, listen to Bad Way to Go. Steve Earle. It's kind of a funny song. some guy, or I don't know whether she's saying the real Steve Earle or some guy that thinks he's Steve Earle or looks like Steve Earle is following her around and stalking her. It's kind of funny. Maybe it's true. I don't know. Listen to those. So the only other things, and by the way, when I saw her in Fort Worth, great show. She was not topping the bill, oddly enough. She was second to the opening act, which was something called the Ha Ha Tonka Trucks, which I didn't stick around to see, but I was not happy with that because she only played about a 30-40 minute set, and I was hoping that she was top of the bill. I thought she was when I went out there, so I was wanting her to play, you know, I actually would have sat there and listened to her play for 3 or 4 hours. So I bought a copy. I've got another copy of this, but I bought a copy of this and got her to sign it. So, or she was kind enough to sign it. Should have taken my camera and got some pictures if they would have been up for that. But the only other thing, Record Store Day. This is 2011, 2012. I don't know. This is from when this album was brand new. The year this came out. 2011, so this Record Store Day, maybe it was 2012 Record Store Day. Bad Way to Go is off the album, and there's a cover of Allison, the Elvis Costello song, of course. She does a pretty good version of that. It's pretty straightforward. Elvis Costello's is still the my favorite version, but Record Store Day thing limited to 1,000 copies, so those are kind of a little tough to find. This is from the new album. This is Record Store Day 2. There is something called Blind, a Kesha song, who I have heard of Kesha but never heard her, but I did go and listen to Kesha's original version. It's, I didn't like it at all. It's just like a 4-minute song. I tried to listen to it. I got through about a little over 2 minutes. I couldn't take it anymore and I turned it off. Any Kesha fans out there, I apologize, but I just didn't like it. It's that very, I don't listen to top 40 stuff anymore. I mean, I remember there was a time when top 40 stuff used to be good. There's always been crap on top 40, but there used to be good stuff. But when I do hear it on occasion, the Kesha song sounded like every damn popular top 40 radio song that I've heard for the last 20, 30 years. And it had that, like Pro Tools production and that where the people sing with the run their voice through the computer, the vocoder or whatever that everybody does. That I guess they think is cool, but it's awful. So I don't know if you're a Kesha fan. I'm sorry, but I just didn't like it. This one is just her and a guitar singing song, and it's better than the Kesha version. Truth be told, it's not a very good song, so it's just not bad. But her Loveless's version is much better, but it's hardly essential either way. Second side is it's upside down, I know, but it's Mile High, which is an unreleased track from her new album. Which the album's called Somewhere Else. I don't think I ever said that. So it's an unreleased track. Well, I guess it's released now. Really good track. She should have tossed that on the album, but it's a good one. Only available on this 45, a Record Store Day released this year, limited edition of 1,000. They're not numbered, but so I'm glad I got that. It's on green vinyl, as you probably saw there. So yeah, I don't believe it myself, but this is not just good music. And there's, like I said, Stephen Wilson, How the Raven Sung, Raphael Sadiq I really liked. There's some other stuff that's come out that I've liked in the last 20 years, but nothing that's this good. Now y'all go listen to it and come back and say that guy didn't know what he's talking about. That stuff doesn't sound all that good to me, but so be it. I think she's great. I think I can't recommend it enough, and I can't believe that I'm just in awe. And I think there's some people on the VC that would really like her a lot. If she had come around in the mid to late 70s, early 80s, she probably would have been all over the rock and roll magazines and huge. If there was any justice in the world, this would be the #1 album right now, instead of God knows what is, probably some rap thing or Justin Bieber or something like that. But so what? It is what it is. Check her out, Lydia Loveless. Shannon Lightbreeze, I think you would really like this. And Sydney. I think me and Mr. Mayo might. He's a big Joan Jett fan, and she doesn't sound like Joan Jett, but and there's was the Sergeant Pepper guy. He likes a lot of country music. You might want to check this out. But I think everybody check her out. Go to YouTube at least and give a listen. I think you'll like it. I'm impressed. I'm shocked and surprised. Lydia Loveless doesn't compute in this day and age, but thank God she's here.